It is that time of year, Raptor fans. Last time we talked to you guys, playoff edition, the Raptors became NBA champions, and it's about damn time that we're back. It took till the middle of August for us to get here, but we're back, and round one of the NBA playoffs is about to begin. Tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, the Raptors are taking on the Brooklyn Nets in round one of the NBA playoffs, and I understand people are already looking past Brooklyn, and then they're looking towards Boston and Philly. Look, let's back this train up a little bit. I understand that we all have this great feeling about crushing Brooklyn and moving on to the next one. I get that. I'm in that same boat as well. I think the Raptors are going to do that, but what we can't do is get ahead of ourselves. I understand we're not playing, so there's really nothing to go around with that, but the players have to keep that level head, go into game one like they did against Orlando in games 2, 3, 4, and 5 last year and lay a beat down. Look, they don't have Kevin Durant. They don't have Kyrie Irving. They don't have Spencer Dinwiddie. They don't have DeAndre Jordan. I think there's no question, but they have played extremely hard and extremely well in the bubble. Kyrie Irving is a cancer. We all know that. He was a cancer in Boston. Even, LeBron James leaves Cleveland. Cleveland goes down the tube. And, then you look at Kyrie Irving in Brooklyn. You look at the record Brooklyn has with Kyrie or without. Very interesting. So I'm not worried about that whole thing. People are like, there's an excuse. Kevin Durant never touched the floor this year for them. So you can't even, it's like he's still a free agent. You can't say that. The Spencer Dinwiddie and DeAndre Jordan factors, though, those are big ones. Now, for the Toronto Raptors, you can't look at that kind of stuff. You got to go out there and lay the beat down on the Brooklyn Nets. I mean, this is a rematch of 2014, if I'm mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I think it was 2014 the Raptors played the Brooklyn Nets with Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Joe Johnson and all those guys, and Lowry had the shot blocked by Paul Pierce there at the buzzer to lose in Game 7 against Brooklyn. You could arguably say, it's a rematch of that. This is totally different teams, guys. Totally. I think Lowry's the only guy from the Raptors that was on that team, and I don't even know if there's a single player. I doubt there's a single player on the Brooklyn Nets that was on that team. So how about we just forget about that 2014 year and focus on 2020, because the Toronto Raptors are about to embark on one of the biggest playoff runs in franchise history. I understand. Well, last year you won the NBA championship. That must have been the biggest. It was. Don't get me wrong. Because you had Kawhi and you went to the finals and the emotion and all the craziness that happened that year, which was it's still amazing. But this year, everybody counted this team out. Everybody. Everybody down south of the border, even people up here, were like, this team is going to struggle. We all said, and if you even go back to my preseason preview, or my season preview video, I think I said something like, they'll be battling for the third seed, but in around that 4 or 5 spot, we're going to be sitting. This team came second with the best winning percentage in franchise history. All the doubters, they proved them wrong. Down in the States, they had the Raptors not even making the playoffs. One guy down in the States, I remember I mentioned him in one video back in the day. He said something along the lines of, the Raptors are done. Finally, we're done with this team. Go back into the lottery and suck for so long. We're back, bud. We're back. You guys know who I'm talking about. The guy on Fox down in the States. I forgot what his name was, but he basically said that. And I'm like, man, you have the kahunas to say that on live radio. You know how Canadian fans are. They will beat you down. They will hunt you down on social media. We're too nice to actually hunt you down in real life. Plus, COVID, we're safe up here. You guys are, woohoo. Anyway, we're not going to get into that kind of stuff. But the Raptors have proved everybody wrong. And if they go out there during this playoff run and continue to prove everybody wrong, they're going to have to like us. They're going to have to. I got to give credit to Stephen A. Smith. There has been a few times lately where he's like, hey, watch out for these Raptors. Watch out for them. And of course, Kendrick Perkins, the man we all love, basically the honorary Canadian. Loving Toronto, loving Pascal, loving what the team's doing, want to see them go. I love Perkins. He's done great. Now let's focus back on the series. We talked about the expectations and what the thoughts were down in the South and what they were to start the season, all that great stuff that I wanted to touch on. I think without a doubt, this Raptor team can sweep this series. My opinion is that it's going to go 5. The reason I say 5 is because, sweeping a team no matter who you are ain't easy. It's not easy no matter who you are. So, yeah, look at Orlando last year for the Raptors. Yes, we won 4 straight games, but you lost game 1. Did you expect that? No. The Raptors just got to go out there and win basketball games. And winning a game 1, which they've been notoriously bad for, except for in the NBA Finals last year, and actually in the series against Philly. But other than those, they've been notorious. The history of the Toronto Raptors is terrible in first rounds. Or first games of any round. Right? They've been obviously terrible. Now, and they even lost to Orlando in game 1 last year, right? So it's crazy. The Raptors got to go out there 4 o'clock tomorrow against Brooklyn and be ready to ball and show them, hey, we're here to play. Are you? And that's where this team's got to sit. They have to be ready to ball with these guys. Caris LeVert is a fantastic player. Defensively, this Raptor team is incredible. You find a way to contain Caris LeVert, you win that game. You win that series. Heck, you contain him for all 4 games, you're going to sweep that series. You contain him, you contain a guy like Joe Harris, you win the series without a doubt. And I have no doubt in my mind that this Raptor team can do that. We're not talking about a LeBron James or a Giannis Antetokounmpo or a Steph Curry or Kevin Durant or whoever else you want to talk about. Where containing them and still dropping 25, 30 points. Caris LeVert is a guy that you can contain and make everything tough for him, and he'll drop 15. That's what I'm talking about. You contain this guy. You can really do a job. Let me quickly go through the roster here and see if there's anybody else that jumps out at me as kind of a threat. Dinwiddie, obviously he's out for season. Joe Harris, Tyler Johnson, Caris LeVert, Jared Allen, but he doesn't really give you much. That's it. Joe Harris and Caris LeVert. You do a job against those guys, you will win just about every single game you play against these guys. And I think the Raptors are so capable of doing so. But for this team to go about this run and go as far as the eye can see, and as far as this team can take themselves, you're going to need your starters to be their starters. It's going to sound cliche, but it's true. You need your bench guys to perform. In the bubble, they had not been very good to start. They were great to finish, but they have to be good come playoff time. Because you look at a team like the Boston Celtics, they have a great starting unit. Their benches, your bench outperforms them, you're in good shape. Number 3, they have to keep up the same defensive intensity they have all year. You play like that defensively as you have all season, come playoff time, and your offense flows the way it has, you have every opportunity to go as far as your team is willing to take you. That's it. We all know where this team is capable of. It's up to them. It's up to our court general. It's up to the rest of the guys to perform. I think I can speak for everybody when I say Pascal Siakam has to be better than he was in the bubble to this point in those seeding games. He has to be better. And if he is, sky's the limit. It really is. I mean, I'm going to go through the lineup right quick for the Raptors. And I'm talking about guys like, obviously, Terrence Davis had a terrible bubble time. So if he can go out there in the playoffs and prove something, then there you go. Stanley Johnson with his light play in the last couple of games, you think he maybe deserves a little bit of time? I don't know about that. But we all know Lowry, Norm Powell's got to continue. He had a terrible start to the seeding games, but it really picked it up as the season went along. And had a great... he won Player of the Week before COVID hit. So for Norman Powell, he just got to continue to do his thing. Matt Thomas, drain your threes. Period. That's it. We don't need Matt Thomas for anything else. If he wants to sprinkle in some jumpers and some free throws and a little bit of defense, fine. Knock down your threes, Matt, and you will be golden. Fred VanVleet, we all know. It's common. I'm not going to say anything about Fred VanVleet because we know what he is. Dog. OG Anunoby, defense, defense, defense. He is going to be in the starting unit. He is going to be in that number 1 unit. So he's arguably the number 4 option behind Gasol, or in front of Gasol. Drain your threes, play defense. OG, if you can do those 2 things, my dude, we'll be just fine. All right, who else we got here? Chris Boucher. I'm not sure how much time Boucher is actually going to get in the playoffs. All depends on foul trouble, maybe matchups at some point. But when he gets time, energy, period. That's it. Ronda Holis-Jefferson, same thing as Boucher, energy. Serge Ibaka, just be consistently what you are, man. He was great in the playoffs last year. He was great all season this year. Keep doing you, Serge. All right? Pascal Siakam, we already talked about him. Marc Gasol, just do his thing. Play solid defense, move the ball, get some rebounds, drain a couple shots, and that's it for Marc Gasol. Great job. Ball game. That's what it would be. It would be a Raptor win, and you'd be hearing tons of claps. I want to hear tons of claps this playoffs, guys. I really, really do. I want my hands to hurt. That's how much I want to do it for you guys, all right? So like I said, I'm going to wrap it up with this. Game 1, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, tomorrow. Raptors, Nets, Game 1 of the 7-game set in Round 1 of the NBA playoffs. It's exciting time, Raptor fans. It's finally here. Let's get to it. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video and are pumped, absolutely pumped, for the Round 1 matchup there tomorrow against the Brooklyn Nets, smack that like button. Do appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video. Anything I missed that you guys want to touch on, let me know in the comments below. Twitter is down below for myself as well. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. Also, the Instagram link is in the description as well. Follow up there. You can send me a DM there if you want as well. And I will talk to you guys, Jays Edition, after the second game of the doubleheader. This game starts in a few minutes now. The finale of the 3-game set against Tampa Bay Rays. The Jays looking to get back into win column after today's tough loss. And to win the series against Tampa, which is a big-time positive. And as for our Raptors, as we've talked about, their next contest is Game 1 of Round 1 of the NBA playoffs tomorrow against the Brooklyn Nets, 4 p.m. tip-off. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll talk to you guys then.